We are going to have a compilation of not one, not two, not three, but four Halo Wars games in this video, each one starting from longer to shorter, to go ahead and showcase what some of my early games are like as a whole, and just how some of my games just somehow seem to end right afterwards, even if it is a ranked game of some sort. So for this one specifically, I am playing as Forge. We're going to go with a normal armory up opening with some jackrabbits. We're going to be going against a red yap yap on my side, and there's going to be yellow and orange as well that are UNSC for the enemy team. And look, they already put a surprise mine on the supply side, and it wasn't even set up pretty well. So that's already a good sign for me right away to be able to start working on these supplies and not have to worry about losing my marine right away. And we're going to send our jackrabbit to see if we can go ahead and get the power in the middle of the left side, and it looks like we'll be able to. So right away we're getting two big victories, which is getting some supplies and getting the power in that middle left side of the map, which is nice to see. We're still going to be waiting to get our second gen up, and there we go, second gen will be coming up. We have rolling economy, so our economy is going to be going right away. And now we're just going to continue to grab resources, then go to the healing spire. But the reason why I want to go ahead and showcase these games is to try something different. You know, we usually get long games or some medium games, which is absolutely fine, but I think there's a little bit of humor and a little bit of enjoyment being able to see earlier type of games and then putting them all in one video. So we're going to see how it turns out. If you like this type of video, feel free to give a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about it as well. Which one is your favorite one out of all four of them? And now we're going to start transitioning over talking about the game once again. We're going to get that Warhog up, and we notice that Yap Yap is using their cannon fodder to go ahead and make sure that a second base isn't being established by the enemy. So they're doing a great job with scouting so far, pretty well. We're spending our resources very well. We're not floating really on anything, and we're going to continue our jackrabbit production, and we're going to still try and steal some supplies by the enemy. They have not really been doing a great job this Yap Yap in grabbing those supplies around their side of the map, and because of that we're going to be able to gain a little bit more of an economic lead for this situation. And so the Marines are doing a great job grabbing those resources. They were able to grab that power on that side, and now we're going to send a jackrabbit to go ahead and try and scout. But you see red has turrets already being made. They're going to start playing defensively, and because of that, that's going to be my cue to give Jackrabbit vision of a second base that I'm going to go ahead and grab, because we have a good amount of supply and we have 200 power we can go ahead and use. Almost self-destructed my armory before getting that upgrade for my Forge Hog. That would have been incredibly embarrassing, but I stopped that from happening. These hero Marines over here being able to scout the enemy, steal some resources, and come right back alive. They've seen a lot, which is awesome to see. Experience is what matters. That's how you get those pay raises. That's how you get those higher level jobs, and those Marines will have a job nevertheless. And now you have Hellbringers coming in straight through the middle from yellow. Supply pad is going to be made from the armory, and they're going to be attacking our own Yap Yap that we have. Forge Hog is on their way, and we do have some jackrabbits, but it's not like they're going to be doing an incredible amount of damage against this. But great Y move coming in by Forge, doing a lot of damage to those Hellbringers. And now they're going to continue to send a little bit more of straggling reinforcements coming in by yellow. 3 more Marines with some additional Hellbringers, so they have to be at least running double barracks from yellow so far to keep this pressure going. But we do have enough units to continue to at least start working on this. But now a restoration drone has come in from yellow, and dark blue smartly backs away just a little bit. And now we're going to get our upgrade for the jackrabbit as well, if I understood that correctly. But we still have enough for tech 2. And there's still plenty of units coming in from yellow. We're making 1 turret just for defensive measures for our base in case red Yap Yap decides to try and flank, because I'm helping out blue. And they're all bunched up here, which is going to be another excellent Y move. It's going to hit a couple of units. But now red has shown up on my expansion base with some cannon fodder and some engineers. And so we have 2-prong attack that we're going to have to try and hold off here. Luckily the cannon fodder is not doing a significant amount of damage, but I don't really have a response to that solo engineer that is over there. But we can at least continue to use the jackrabbits to get some consistent damage while our reinforcements come in, and hope that green can shift over, which they have, to help out dark blue. And now I'm going to start transitioning over to get the garage up to get more vehicles out so we can try and do some more damage on the side of the map. And now Please Don't Shoot has been called in, which is going to be Red's cue to go ahead and leave and not bother to keep this attack going. So I'm going to leave a Jackrabbit for my teammate to be able to grab that second base. Heavy metal looks like it's going to be used. There we go. We got ourselves the heavy metal point. Now we're getting the support drone. And I think we just canceled it. If we didn't, then that's great. We're going to continue. Now we're going to start making some Wolverines, right? We want to get some anti-air to deal with the engineers that we saw over there. But right now, red hasn't shown anything too crazy. It's just been cannon fodder. And yellow has just shown to be in complete barracks plate. So we're going to have a great Y move by Forge, but they have like 3 engineers. This is going to be a little bit problematic if we're trying to push this. So for now, we can just continue to micro back and forth. So then that way we can just get some good damage in and just try to chip away from the amount of cannon fodder that they have, which they have a lot of. But it's not like it's something that's going to be pretty dreadful. But a great cleansing beam's coming down and get rid of 4 engineers. And one of my Jackrabbits happened to swallow that mine that I did not get rid of. But we have some good damage coming in. It does look like a cleansing beam is going to be coming down on my army, but they whiffed it incredibly over here. So we're going to be able to keep this pressure going, and if we can get our Wolverines to come reinforce, then we no longer have to worry about the engineers that are healing the cannon fodder. Now, it's still very surprising how we haven't seen anything else come from red, and there you go, they started making some machines, so it looks like they're going to start doing some air, but our own Yap Yap has shown up, and this is going to be the perfect push to be able to do everything that we need to get rid of the opponent over here. We have plenty of infantry now to deal with the air, and we do have some Jackrabbits to deal with the ground as well as with the Forge Hog. And there's a great EMP Mac that comes down on my army. But we have some good Y moves coming in from Yap Yap as well, but we did lose a lot of our Jackrabbits, unfortunately. But we're going to continue to just keep this push going. There's a turret being made in the back that we can go ahead and try and stop. We got plenty of Wolverines. As you can see, it looks like Yap Yap was trying to go for a mass air strategy and was just using cannon fodder in order to go ahead and just save their resources to be used more on the economic side. They had 3 air pads set up, and so red ends up self-destructing their base because of that, and now that just completely left orange and yellow in shambles. I mean, they were going to lose their base, but was this a valid disconnect? That's the question that I want to go ahead and ask and see if you all think so as well. And so while we start transitioning to the ending part of the beginning of this game, we can at least reflect on the things that was done well, right? The opening on my side was pretty strong, and I exploited the fact that red just went cannon fodders practically this whole game until they're trying to get that triple air pad up. And on top of that, just the decision to go ahead and help out Dark Blue when he was getting pushed by the double Hellbringers and Marine push from yellow to assist until they were able to hold on well enough for green to assist, so then I could shift back to my second base. That was a well played tactic as well. And so now we're going to have one last big push. We eliminated that enemy, probably that was the Yap Yap, and they still think they kind of have a shot here, so we're just going to end up closing this game right away. And then we'll transition over to the next early game video that we have. Now, this next match is going to be shorter than this one. I am going to be playing as Jerome, and there's that disconnect, and all that's left is orange. And this next game is going to be interesting on how it was played. This one's more of a tactical win for the second video. This one was just more of, I believe, just a difference of skill level, or maybe their build order was just not that good. They're trying to go for that triple mass air right away, and I recognize that, and if it wasn't for Yap Yap coming in, we wouldn't have been able to have such a successful push against red at that moment of time. So I think a lot went well in this game. And so now we're just going to have one more engagement here. Scatterbomb's going to come down, clear everything out at the bottom. We do have some units that are getting hit by the anti-vehicle turrets, but honestly, orange needs to get ready to go ahead and resign from this game. I'm going to go ahead and let the Yap Yap have the rest of the battle scars for this game. I'll just go ahead and continue to assist with any anti-air that they need. But finally, the last self-destruct has occurred. and the victory has happened. So we'll take a quick look at the stats, and then we'll transition over to the next game. And so this one, I was incredibly efficient, 5 for 50, and that's the stat line that I want to go ahead and show across the board. Even with the red doing what they did, my economy was still substantially better, so kind of weird. Now we're moving on to the next game. I am playing as Jerome here. I am middle. Right side we have ourselves a Covenant, as well as a left side we have ourselves some UNSC. And green is UNSC, and light blue is Covenant, and dark blue is also UNSC. And the way we're starting off is we're going to start making a couple Marines, or at least one additional Marine, so we can grab some resources on our side of the map, as well as being able to send our 2 Marines out to go ahead and take some resources out in middle. And we're going to open up with 2 supply pads, upgrade one of those supply pads, and then we're going to go ahead and make our generator to start making that power. Meanwhile, we're going to have this Marine over here. He's going to start heading out to grab those resources on the high ground. So it does look like we have, what, 4 Marines? 4 Marines is correct. And now we're going to have that gen upgraded. So what's the play for this one? I think I'm going to end up going with Hero right away. Jerome Hero is incredibly strong here. At least that's the play that I think that's going to happen here. We're going to start working on the nodes, and unfortunately the Sentinels were able to see my Marine, which is kind of frustrating with the fact that they were chasing me that far, but we can at least start working on it. And it does look like the enemy tried getting some resources on the right side with their 2 grunts, but caught that from the Sentinel because that kind of gave their cover away. So I'm going to have some Marines be able to work on that. Sensor tower will be made in order to go ahead and get that mini base in the back of our base. That's something you can do in this map. And they're going to continue to just work on clearing out the power nodes with these 2 Marines. Unfortunately, they're going to get hit by the Sentinel. It's not really what you want to see because that's damage that we could have avoided, especially since Jerome has the extra vision and whatnot. But mini base is going to be grabbed, and we're going to start working on getting our armory up. That's going to be the next play, just because the way this opened up, it looks like we're going to go with Hero. We're also going to go with Jackrabbits, but now there's some grunts trying to push the middle of the map, and now it's going to be a little juggle, a little contestation coming back and forth over here in order to see if we can stop them from capturing the node, because I want the node more than they do. But there's some mines already over there, but we do have a bunker of our own, so if I can get some Marines in there, that's going to be pretty nice. And so we're going to put our Marines and flank them all the way around, so then that way they're not getting hit by the mines. And it looks like we're going to be able to push those grunts back, get 2 of them up in the bunker. I said that very weirdly. And then we're going to try and capture the node. But now dark blue has shown up as well to go ahead and work on getting the nodes on that side of the map. So unfortunately, more mines are being set to get rid of the bunker, and that means kaboom, we're going to lose a couple units. Or will we lose 1? We didn't lose a single. We lost a Marine. That Marine, we salute you. You served your cause. I'm so sorry, man. But Hero has shown up for the enemy, and with what we've got, we're going to actually keep making some Marines. So it doesn't look like we're going to go with Jackrabbit Hero. And if you look at the map, the left side's doing pretty well with orange right now. So that's going to at least keep dark blue in check. And then that means what's going to happen on the right hand side, because green has gone for a second base right away, as well as light blue. So can we actually capitalize off of this and take advantage of the fact that they're trying to go ahead and grab themselves a second base? Well, we're going to need our hero in order for that to happen, and he is on his way. But we can at least grab these 2 power nodes and be able to start working towards the next section, which would be that expansion base. We're still going to fight for the nodes for now, and it does look like green is going to come in to try and get the power node for the right side with those 3 Marines, but our hero's here, and we're going to be able to stop this very easily. And so they're going to lose all those Marines because of that. And that's going to be my cue to start heading on over to see if we can get rid of light blue's base. Meanwhile, our Johnson on the left hand side is going and having an engagement against dark blue, so they're going to keep them busy for a bit. and we are floating a little bit of supply here, so we definitely could do better here with the marine production. But second base is now under attack, and it does look like with what we've got, we're going to be able to get rid of the base. We're doing some pre-splits just in case, and we do have the grenade ability, which is going to allow us to keep working on the base a little bit faster. We're going to move our hero back just so that they can go ahead and zone out anyone that tries to come in to stop the Marines from doing the rest of the damage onto the building. Light Blue has already accepted that the base was going to be destroyed by self-destructing their additional buildings on there. We're going to go ahead and get a third generator. And now if you look over here, our Decimus is pushing the right hand side. And it turns out we didn't get that third generator, but their grunts have the shrapnel mines, and we're going to go with barracks and air pad. And there's the armory from the mini base, so maybe we can go ahead and take out the mini base before this hero comes out, because it does look like green lost his hero, and maybe he's not making another one because of the fact that we're doubling up on this side. And so we're going to get rid of that mini base relatively well. We're still flowing a little bit of supply. Would love to see us spend that a little bit better than what's going on here. But we're finally going to go ahead and get the Master Doms, which means we can now get some combat tech Marines in there. Green got rid of the second base. And now here's what happened. Red wanted to go ahead and push, and I was ready to go ahead and fall back. I thought we did good damage. We denied the second base, but since I saw Red going to go ahead and push, that was my cue. I said, okay, I'm not going to go ahead and leave them hanging. Red thinks he's got the kill over here, and so we do have ourselves some units to go ahead and try and get rid of Green's base over here, because they're going for double garage. They're trying to pump out as much Warhogs as possible, and now the Atriox is showing up on this side as well. And there you go, you have yourself a Mac that's going to come in. No, it was a scatter bomb. So the scatter bomb's coming in to get rid of all the grunts. So Red lost all his grunts, but meanwhile, I'm microing my Marines to my heart's content over here. Great Y move coming in by the Decimus. Cleansing Beam is coming down to focus down on the Atriox. And so we were able to get rid of the Atriox. And meanwhile, Orange got rid of Dark Blue on the left-hand side. They won their 1v1. So it turns out we're in a 2v2 over here. And we're making some economy buildings over here, but it wasn't even needed anymore because Green ends up self-destructing because of this. Now, here's my question to you all. Do you think, okay, that if Dark Blue wasn't eliminated, Green would have stayed in this game? Does Green have a shot to continue to fight? We still have plenty of Marines. We had both our heroes out. And so I think it was actually GG, because not only do we win on the left side, even if left side wasn't winning, I still think the right lane, we were pretty strong in this situation. And it was just a good combination play between the two of us to understand that, hey, we actually have potential kill here to get rid of the enemy over here. So all in all, want to go ahead and showcase this one as well. Light Blue was a little bit late on the transition to help Green out, but to be fair, Green tried getting that 3D second base as well as Light Blue without, having a proper army for that. So we're just going to continue to just spend our resources, but there's that victory screen, so we'll spend a few more seconds looking at the stats very quick to see if anything pops out. And so, from what we're seeing here, yeah, Orange made the most units on our team. Green had such an amazing economy. I can understand why they went for that second base, but didn't make as much units as they should have. And so, this one is actually pretty hilarious. So, I'm playing as Vortis here, and Vortis has the ability of combat spoils, okay? And I'm going to go combat spoils. Now, let's just keep that in mind for this game, okay? I am going combat spoils. And I'm going to be a good teammate to go ahead and go after those nodes right away. We're going to upgrade the supply pad so we can get some good supplies coming in early on. And now we're going to start working towards mid and working on that as well. So our opener is supply upgrade and then gen. And with the extra money that we're going to hopefully get from the resources, we can be sure to keep producing some grunts and get our economy going. But you saw it there. I went combat spoils. So Light Blue, I think it's Light Blue, is playing as Yap Yap. Light Green, I forgot who they're playing as. They're UNSC. And then we have a Covenant as Dark Blue for UNSC. And we're starting off strong. We're getting the supplies in the middle. We already got a power node for our team. And it does look like I'm going to be able to steal additional power that's on this left-hand side, which is nice to see. we're going raid camp for 4th building point instead of trying to get a 2nd gen in order to be a little bit more aggressive with our army. And all in all, it's looking up like a pretty good opener. So I'm sending these 2 grunts out to go after the mini base, and main reason why I have combat spoils, right? I want to get some extra resources from attacking the building because you can always, get the extra resources. Turns out, mini base was not grabbed on this left-hand side. So I was like, okay. So then I send my grunts over here, and then a light blue ends up getting an expansion base, a super fast expansion base on this left-hand side. So I start working on the cannon fodder over here because, hey, this is going to be a problem. And I want to start working on this base because I'm going to get a ton of resources. And so they end up self-destructing that base right away because of it. And I understand. They don't want me to get the extra resources. But then this player takes it one step this player takes it one step further. And they end up self-destructing all their bases. So that's it. This game's over. Like, the other person, I think someone else that got matched up on their team or whatever also ends up self-destructing all their bases because it's over at this point. But the fact that Yap Yap tried to get a hidden base against a Vortis, and then it's like, okay, I got caught, and then it's like, I'm gonna quit the game now because you caught my expansion base. It's like, dude, you took the greediest gamble that you can possibly think of, and then you get caught, and then you go ahead and resign. It's like, bro, you could, at least accept the consequences and just fight it out. But I get it. It's a long grind, and maybe you don't have the time to do it, or that person doesn't have the time to do it. It's totally fine. I just want to show it because I just think that it's just hilarious with that fact. And so the rest of this match is going to be ending relatively soon, but 2 of the enemies have been eliminated, and this poor person, they just want to play some Halo Wars. That's all they want to do, because you can tell they're still in the game. 2 of their teammates have just abandoned them and left them. And so we still have to kind of take this game seriously, mainly because of the fact that, hey, what if he's just committing towards 3 barracks or something and making a large army and just going for one big attack and see what happens. And so we're going to keep trying to take this game a little bit more seriously, but it's such a shame because I scouted that Yap Yap's expansion base, and then it's just like, I'm out, GG's. I don't know. I mean, here's my question for you all. Would you all have stayed in that game, in this situation, if you went for that expansion base and it ended up getting scouted by a Vortis? And you only have one of 2 options. If you leave that base, you're going to be feeding Vortis, and there's the elite rangers with suicide grunts that I'm talking about, so the dark blue is going to go for a big attack. Or would you have just left the game? Like, I would love to know. This is why I am showing all these early games, because this is just a great conversation in general to have to showcase these different things. And here comes the teleport, and here comes the all or nothing attack, right? Dark blue is trying to come in with everything that they got. Double raid camp, making some suites, got some turrets for defense. Engineer swarm is coming down, and I don't really have much of an army on this side to fight this, but we do have some hammer brutes, and we do have Grenadier drop, which will be nice to have. And even though they're trying to strip the base, and they'll be able to get rid of a power gen, it's not like much is going to really happen after this, honestly. So this is just a last desperate attack coming in from dark blue to see if they can at least, capitalize on an opportunity in case no one went early game. But like I said, it's not a situation where you should relax, because this is stuff that players can tend to do when their back is against the corner. So that's my cue to go ahead and attack the main base. They don't really have anything here, and this is going to pretty much force dark blue's situation once they start targeting down the raid camp and getting rid of the turrets in the back. There's not much they can do from this point on, and so they end up resigning because of it. And so, if we take a look at the stat screen, this is going to be pretty funny. Poor light blue, like, I still don't get why light blue chose to resign there. They didn't resign, they self-destructed their base, so it's not like they got disconnected from the internet. But like 721 units supply and 84 power, and that was it. They went for a base right away, and against a Vortis. It was such a risk, but it didn't pay off in this situation, so I just wanted to go ahead and showcase that one because that was pretty funny. And now this is the icing on the cake. This is the last one, and it's the shortest one of them all. I'm playing as Colony, and this map, the way this map works is that if you're on the left or right side of the map, you're going to be contesting, right? You're going to be fighting for the resources on this left side or right side of the map. In this case, it's going to be the power. So I'm making a chopper, right? And I'm going to use my grunts to start going after the power on my side of the map. And now I'm going to try and get the power in the middle, but as you can see, Orange is showing up. Orange has a bunch of grunts, and not only do they have a bunch of grunts, but they're looking to fight. So I'm gonna okay, I'll go ahead and fight back. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to micro units. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep targeting down some of these units over here. And they're doing a great job so far. We got ourselves some great damage coming in. Yeah, there's an extra grunt, but you know what? This is something that's not really gonna be a problem. We got rid of almost three grunts. There's one of them. They get taken out. I've lost a grunt myself too now. This chopper is taking a lot of damage over here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make a skitterer. And meanwhile, these two grunts are trying to fight for their life over here. So we're fighting hard for this power. And you can tell we've committed a lot. I've got a chopper and a skitterer coming over there. We have a vet 1 grunt. And they're trying to focus down on the chopper. And now they're trying to focus down on my soul grunt. I want the grunt to go ahead and live, so I have to fall back just a little bit. So the chopper is going to start heading on over. We're going to get our second gen up. But we're going to keep focusing down. A great ram comes in against these grunts. And so this level 1 grunt, they're seeing it all. They're gaining so much experience. They're learning how to shoot better. They're learning how to dodge better. And now I have a skitter because Orange has shown up with grunts of their own. But now we had one set of Marines that come in for the flank. And because of that, we have barely hold off Orange. And because of that, Orange ends up resigning from this game because they committed so much supply to try and get the power, and they weren't able to get anything. So the enemy, that's it. The game's over. The quickest 2-minute game I've ever played in my entire life. And so, I mean, it was heated from the very beginning. We were fighting for that power, but man, they didn't get what they wanted, and Orange just resigned right afterwards. So yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Would you go ahead and quit? I mean, I went 6-2 there, which was nice. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this series. If you did, feel free to give a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to too, and let me know. Answer any of those questions I had for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, or morning, and until the next commentary video.